All right, you've been for your run and now you're looking for a lovely little stretchy release to release out the IT bands, release out the hip flexors, stretch out those tight legs and back muscles. You've come to the right place. We're going to start in cat. Cat is probably one of my favorite asanas because it just does so much good for your spine. So just find a little ease here. Maybe we'll just shift those hips over to one side and get the stretch out through the side of the buttocks and down, maybe the IT band on the side there. Move over to the other side, check in there. You can stay here longer if you like, if it feels really good as well. And then back to center. Let's round out that spine as you exhale, chin moving towards your chest. Inhaling, lifting from the tail, rounding and gazing forward, lengthening through the neck. Exhale, round, pressing through the floor. And inhale, coming into that lovely neutral spine. After that, we're going to tuck our toes and just press back a little bit, stretch out the feet, maybe press a little bit more and stretch out those feet, depending on how flexy your toes are. It is pretty nice to just stretch out the feet if they've been working really hard. And then if you're feeling okay, maybe just sit up and stretch the toes a little bit. If this is a little intense, just bring the hands forward and give yourself some support. Just breathe a couple of breaths here, letting the heart rate come back down if you've literally just finished your run. But if you just come home and you're ready to just stretch out and release, and just focus in on that breath and allow the nervous system to come back to that place of rest and relax. Let's drop the feet and we're just going to lean back, lift. If that's too much for you, just hang out here and hang out. It's all good. Stretch out a little bit through the front of the ankles. Let's get into our hip flexors. So stepping your right foot forward to a nice big lunge. And maybe shifting back, and we'll just lift the knees. Make sure your front knee tracks over that ankle or slightly behind. Make sure it's not shooting out over the foot because you won't do your knee any good that way. Stretch back into the heel of this. In this case, this is my left leg. My right leg is forward. You get a lovely stretch down the hip flexors. Drop that knee, and we'll just rise up towards our right knee, draw the belly in, drop the tailbone to the floor so you've got some integrity through the core, but you're also getting more benefit of the stretch through the front of that hip flexor there. Breathe into it. Couple of lovely deep breaths here. Maybe sink a little deeper. Try not to overextend into the lumbar there. Keep the belly in, softening the ribs, lifting those hip points. And we're going to gently roll over our heel, drawing your toes towards your face, your chest forward, looking for length in your back, and you're gonna feel it through the back of the legs, through your calf muscles, through your hamstrings. Just drawing back through that right hip crease, drawing that right femur back into its hip socket. Draw the shoulders down the back, and if you're more flexible, go ahead, come down low. Breathe, keep that breath steady, let that breath guide you through, and then exhale, come forward, sinking down. We're going to bring our hands to the inside of that right foot. Walk the right foot out slightly. This depends on the flexibility of your hips and the way your pelvis is actually built as to whether your hip is going to open up a lot or not. Just notice how it feels. If it's comfortable, you can roll out to the edge of that foot, but only if that's comfortable on your ankles. Don't force your body into any position that it's not ready to be in. We're not trying to rotate from the knee, we're trying to open from the hip. If your back knee is a little uncomfortable, you can either roll your mat or place a cushion or some support behind it. And then placing your left hand to the ground, roll towards that right leg and opening up into the spine. You can always keep that back foot tucked if you want to. Breathe into it here. Press the floor away. Maybe draw that shoulder back down. Breathe, and you could stay here. If you're a little bit more flexy and you want to stretch out the front of your thigh, your quads there, bend that back leg. Maybe you need to use a strap. Maybe you can reach your foot. Maybe you don't want to do this bit at all. But if you're comfortable, just draw it towards you. Don't be rough. Don't be mean on yourself. Just check in. We're not wrenching that leg towards us to compromise our knee. We're just trying to stretch out the quads. Breathe. Stretch into it. Feel that lovely release. Release the leg if you are holding it. Walk your other foot back in. Wardrobe malfunction. And then we're just going to step back for a moment into a down dog. Tread it out. Lovely down dog. Stretch it out. Tread it out. Move it out. And drop the knees again. And let's step our left leg forward into that lunge. Pick up the back knee, press back into the heel, check in with this front knee, make sure it's not scooting past that ankle. Breathe, find that lovely breath, stretch back into the heel. Now let's go ahead, drop that back knee into a comfortable position, looking for a deep lunge, but trying not to collapse here. So harness the integrity of your body and the muscles there. We're just gently drawing up a little bit so that we can draw those hip bones up to the sky, the pelvis looking up and the tailbone looking down. Soften the ribs in. From there you can deepen your stretch, and it means you're contained, you're not overstretching the back, you're not compromising the lumbar. Breathe here, find that lovely place of release. Release down, roll over your heel. Draw your toes to your face, draw your heart to the front of the room. Look for length through the back basically, and just notice this stretch happening in the back of this left leg. If you're more flexible, go ahead, come down. And generally we want to keep our hips over our knees. Some people I think enjoy coming back further. For me, I don't get any stretch there, so just see what works for you. I prefer to have the hips over the knees and working my toes towards my face, my chest to the front of the mat. And that's when I really feel it. Coming down low as well can increase it, but you don't have to. You can also use blocks here. If you find that that's quite difficult to get down there, just bring the earth up to you. We're really looking for a stretch. So if you're getting a stretch, then you're doing the right thing. Exhale, soften into that front leg. Walk it out. Just see where it feels comfortable for you. You want your knee and your foot facing the same direction. If you happen to have hips that point forward rather than out to the side, your knee and your foot want to be facing in the same direction. Hang out here, couple of breaths. This is called runner's lunge or lizard. You can drop the back leg. You can always pick it up and stretch it out a little bit, but we're not working any strength here per se. We're really trying to stretch. Placing that right hand down, draw the shoulder back down and rotate towards that knee. Breathe into it. Maybe gazing up, getting a lovely stretch to the back. Again, just checking in with your body, playing around with your poses and finding where you can sit comfortably into those poses. If you're comfortable bringing that back leg up, you could use a strap or a belt or a scarf or a sock and draw it towards you, or if you can reach the foot, gently draw it towards you. Breathing into it. My feet need moisturizing. Just feeling your way through those hip flexors. Try not to collapse through the center of your body. Keep that strength going. Breathe. Couple more breaths. All right, let's release it out. And walk that foot back in. Press up. downward facing dog. Tread it out. We're gonna tread all the way up to our hands. Hang out here. Breathe into it. And just allow the body to hang. Maybe find a little movement. You can soften the knees a whole bunch too if you want to. That's all good. Maybe even hold on to the elbows and just let the spine lengthen. Let the back of the legs release and let that back release out. Breathe and find your softness. We're going to press through the feet, draw the energy up through the inner thighs, connect to your glutes, draw the belly in, and start to ragdoll yourself up. Press, use the strength of the floor. Now, with the feet separated, hip width apart, they can be, hopefully that's where they were before. Interlace your fingers behind you. Just draw the hands down. Let's release out the back. Exhale. Hinge halfway. Inhale, draw the arms up. If your shoulders are particularly tight, maybe you want to hold on to a strap. Draw the ribs in so you've got nice integrity to the body. And then allow yourself to come down and let those arms come with you. Breathe. Soften through the knees if you need to. Let the head hang out. Let the shoulders hang out. Notice how that's feeling. And go ahead, bring the hands to the low back. Press and rise the rest of the way up. Take a moment, release the arms, roll those shoulders out. Lovely shoulder rolls. And roll them back the other way, releasing and softening. Awesome. Palm tree pose. This is going to help to just lengthen out that spine, and it's also a really good one to build strength into the ankles, and you want strong ankles as a runner. Interlace your fingers, place them on your head. Peel the toes up, press up to your toes, press up, turn the palms up to the sky and press up to the ceiling, lifting and lengthening. Now when I used to do this, I used to tiptoe all over the place, so it's fine if you are going for a little tiptoe. Just look, maybe find a focal point in front of you, not maybe, absolutely, a drishti point, and just breathe into it. Soften the ribs, but look for length through the spine. This helps to stretch out the legs, relieve tension in the back, build strength in those ankles, release it down. Awesome. Just wiggle out the toes. Let's stretch our legs out a little wider. Turn the feet parallel or slightly pigeoned in. And then exhale, hinge through the hips. Bring the hands to the hips there. Now again, maybe you need to have a block or some support or a chair or a bench, wherever you are. And just breathe into it here. Let the shoulders come down. Draw the rib cage up and in slightly. If you can come lower, that's all good. If you can come all the way down, go for it. All the way to the floor. Inhale, peel the heart up. And again, if you've got your trusty block, you can place your left hand down on that block underneath your face, or if you're comfortable coming to the floor, go ahead and do that. Right hand to your low back. Open up through the spine, extend up through that top arm. Reach it up, lengthen out through the spine. Extend out through the legs, exhale, release. Other side, replacing the right hand down, rotating to your left, lifting and lengthening. Draw your shoulders down the back, breathing into it. Oh, feels so good. Exhale, come on down, release down, and now you can take your block with you, or you can just walk over towards that right leg. Bring your right hand behind and grab hold. Anywhere along the leg is fine. It just depends on your flexibility. But if it's comfortable to draw yourself towards the leg, go for it. Getting a lovely stretch there through the inner thighs and release. Let's walk over to the other side. You can always hold these stretches longer. Left hand around the back of the leg, or right hand grab and hold as well. Draw yourself towards that leg. Beautiful deep breaths. Release out, maybe find a little softness, a little seaweed, a little release through the back. And then peel the body up. Reaching to the sky. Exhale, hands down in front of the heart center. Let's bring our feet together. Last thing, last stretch, a lovely quad stretch again, especially if you didn't get to do the quad stretch earlier. So find your balance, your drishti point, connect down through that right leg and draw the left foot up towards you. Try not to let that leg pop out to the side. If you need support on a wall, go ahead and grab a wall. But let's try and point the knee down and draw draw the heel towards you. Draw your hip points up to the sky, soften your rib cage down, and draw that heel up. You'll get a nice, lovely stretch through that quadricep. Press through the standing leg, release, come to the other side. So again, just find your focal point, your drishti, grab hold of that leg, use a wall if you need to, press through the standing leg, soften tailbone to ground, lift hip points, top of the pelvis, soften ribs, draw the heel towards you, get that lovely stretch. Breathe. And just let the body calm and center. And release that out. Shake it out. All right. Now, if you want to finish in a child's pose or a shavasana, you're completely welcome. But that is our quick little warm down for runners. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.